We're born into fear. That fear is normal, it makes us human. That fear is perhaps a challenge for this lifetime, but it doesn't make it you. It makes it something that influences you. You are the soul. The soul can answer, who am I? You are that soul. And you've never been not a soul. We live a human life with human living limitations, but we don't have to. The inner child, when we look at the inner child, or the way we look at the inner child, it is a connection within to those limitations on a timeline of existence. Often we say the inner child began to create the limitations from a certain time point within our lives. And that can come from the moment you are conceived inside the mother's belly for 9 months or so, or certain things that have happened to that person in their youth. So you can say that our triggers of fear that resonate within me are my inner child issue caused by parents or situations or pre-birth situation. And those things limit us. They are a point of inner reflection back to a time where we knew no better. As an unborn child or an infant or a baby, of course we are very much controlled by our own fears, no matter where they came from. And it's our job really to, as we say, heal the inner child, to find freedom from those things that have limited us or affected us from a very young age. The soul is not that. The soul is this beautiful guidance from a wholeness or completeness of who we are, that is not triggered by or reactive to these human limitations. The soul is the beautiful aspect of who you've always been, and the inner child hurt or problem is from a certain timeline experience that has created limitations ever since. To integrate with the soul means that you can free yourself from those old human limitations at the same time. So you grow and you find and you heal from your own connection. It's very important. If we are fear, that's all we are. And yet those thoughts, those emotions, those fears, those limitations aren't who we are at all. They're a misbelief. They are a programmed way of looking at ourselves that perhaps we spent the whole lifetime trying to believe. Not good enough, not strong enough, not healthy enough, not beautiful enough, not free enough. We have so many disbeliefs caused by family lines, society, or whatever else has influenced us. The thing is, the who am I is not a question you should ask from the mind and heart, but it should be something that is answered by your soul itself. You are not your thoughts. You never were. But that is a repeated program that keeps on running. How many people have a story of the mind that is so limiting, so fear-based, so family-orientated, as in mother line, father line, limited us before birth type thing. But I do believe that the bigger question, who am I, comes from the light we are, comes from the soul's connection that we always have been. And if we can free ourselves from the limitations of our mind and heart and our situational and living experiences, we become aware of who we really are. And that's not a mind that fears or a heart that doubts or the body that becomes sick. We are beyond that.